Yes, the initial day of filming was truly hands-on. Timber walls were covered with canvases, were arranged, and subsequently we filmed 2 scenes. Once the scene with the 2 shots in the church, where the Nazi soldiers in tight outfits are eagerly awaiting the arrival of the protagonist.
Gotterdammerung is a passion project of our director Phil Ramke, and it is incredibly contagious. The fire with which he approached this matter is truly remarkable and has a profound impact. And so it initially became a cooperation, then a friendship, and ultimately a relationship that was nearly like family.
Then we also got in through Home and Sky, and it was just so much fun. And then also sitting there with the director's assistant and with Phil and paying attention and also seeing how the images developed.
Then, with a slight delay, another email arrived from a young man named Dennis Mardeus, and I observed the photograph, I observed his demeanor, how he gazed into the camera and saw his cheerful expression. And I have to say honestly, in that moment, he already convinced me. I knew I wanted to make this film with this man as the lead actor. The upcoming shooting day was scheduled to take place in a highly prestigious house, I would almost dare to say. A location where the Nazis convene to discuss their advancement on the excavation project they are currently carrying out. And on the other hand, there are the critics who consider these occult experiments a waste of time and hocus pocus. We came to Heinrich Himmler, to Ingo Wimmer, by me saying to Marie that the biggest challenge for us for this whole film will be to make the only historical person we show there, namely Heinrich Himmler, look really authentic, and at the same time that he lives and plays the character Heinrich Himmler in the film, in the teaser. That it gives the impression of being authentic to fans of the film as well as to critics. That one buys this man, he is Heinrich Himmler, and he is this mass murderer who really existed back then. He is not a fictional character or story, it really happened.
In my opinion, Dr. von Klitzing, yes, he definitely created a high envy factor at first because he was the only one allowed to eat while everyone else was not permitted. But if you had been looking at this record for a while and it was still there after an hour, I think you eventually got tired of it, yes.
The following day of shooting took place at Marksburg, where the castle owner, Mr. Wagner, graciously offered the castle of the association for the shoot. Of course, we were only given a very narrow time frame in order not to restrict the tourist groups too much, but the Marksburg castle was very well suited as a filming location because it is also a popular destination for American tourists. And because one of our primary target groups comprises Americans, it was truly fantastic to have the opportunity to leverage this recognition value and capture the essence of this book in our work. During this shoot, Rebecca Dyson-Smith also made her debut on the set as the female protagonist for the first time ever. She plays the daughter of a famous German resistance fighter who is also active throughout Europe fighting against the Nazis, whether it's in Germany, Denmark, or Norway. On her way, unfortunately, she encounters 2 Nazi soldiers whom she didn't expect, and of course she has to draw her weapon and cold-bloodedly shoots both of them. And with that, she also demonstrates her acting ability, specifically by portraying this endearing girl who evokes no fear whatsoever, and then abruptly transforming into the ice-cold, highly skilled assassin due to her years of involvement in the resistance and the profound influence of her father. We have been actively searching for an alternative in Germany, exploring various forests that bear resemblance to the enchanting Norwegian forests we admire so much. And that was madness. So as I said, we needed a slope and we also needed movement there, camera movement. That would obviously not have been possible because it really goes down so steeply. So my other cousin, Stefan Weber, has agreed to build a podium into the slope.
We often had pressure, of course, when we filmed outside regarding the lighting conditions, adverse circumstances regarding cold. That is something one has to struggle with, without a doubt. But I have to say, since we are doing all of this out of enthusiasm and financial success is not our main focus for now, but simply because we really enjoy this project, the overall mood and the joy after a successful shoot are even greater.
It is beyond your imagination to comprehend the enormous quantity of talks you have in that place and the frequency at which you turn them. In the ultimate film, this particular scene may only last for a mere 10 seconds, but in reality, it actually takes about 15 or even 30 minutes, which is truly intense and creates a highly immersive experience for the audience.
Our special effects team has really created wonderful images in post-production. There, a castle that was taken somewhere suddenly became a Nazi castle with waving Nazi flags, scenes in which ultimately some knife props are pulled out of necks, suddenly blood from tears is sprayed, and all of this really on a large scale, where you really can't see any difference to big productions. When the film production ultimately begins, these people are on board. This implies that the film itself will be produced by the same individuals in front of and behind the camera. This sets new impulses, and the German film industry needs new impulses. It needs new faces, it needs new talents who ultimately want to take risks, who do not take conventional paths. And if a production has taken risks and unconventional avenues, then that is definitely Gotterdammerung.
And it is just worthwhile, and I also believe that the new actors are gaining a lot of knowledge from it, and I definitely think that it should be supported.
Furthermore, I can only state that what I have witnessed, I find to be truly remarkable. Additionally, I hope that a multitude of people will view this teaser in order to grasp a little more about the desires of the guys and girls and the intended direction of the path. Because at that point, you might acquire a bit of insight or an idea regarding what the major film is going to be like. And I think that is genuinely awesome and remarkable.